I have exciting news for you. From the week of December 5th until the 15th, you will have the opportunity to win an all access lifetime membership pass to the personal development school to give yourself the gift of healthy relationships this holiday season. We will be selecting 5 lucky winners to receive special prizes. And all you need to do is to be subscribed to our YouTube channel, like this video, and then click the link in the description and register your email in order to be entered to win. There are also bonus points for those who comment below on how a lifetime membership to our school could really benefit them or impact their lives. So make sure you check your email on December 16th to see if you win. Again, we'll have 5 winners that get all sorts of different access and prizes to PDS. And if you don't hear back from us, please don't worry. Everyone who enters will also still receive a small gift from myself and the personal development school as a thank you for being a valuable member of the PDS community. And all of the details are listed in the description of this video below. Best of luck. So, boundaries are a massive part of healthy relationships. And what I often find is for anxious, preoccupied individuals, boundaries can feel like they trigger this fear of being abandoned. So, if you are feeling like my strategy to connect, to attach, to bond, and to not be abandoned is to please you, to people please, to do whatever you need, and to be who you want me to be, then obviously boundaries are sort of the exact opposite of that and can actually create these fear responses because they seem to, at a subconscious level, threaten the anxious preoccupied's attachment strategy. But being boundaryless becomes a self fulfilling prophecy for abandonment instead, because it often leads you into a position where you are self abandoning, self betraying. And then this leaves your needs buckets on empty when it comes to connection. It's like I can't meet my own needs for connection at all. And as you extend that outwards and watch the trajectory of how that unfolds, what you'll often find is if I'm never able to connect to myself and make space for my own needs, for what's important to me as a person, and my gas tank is always on empty, I am terrified of being abandoned by others because I see other people as being my only source to fill that tank up. And I feel like I need them in order to survive. And so we see this really tricky cycle that unfolds where it's like I abandon myself to please others. And then I am really afraid that somebody else is going to also abandon me. So I try to hold on tighter. And then the more tightly I hold on, the more likely I am to trip other people's fears of enmeshment, of being consumed by a relationship and not having healthy interdependence, and the more likely I am to push other people away. And so we see this cycle continue and become very cyclical over time. So, how do we end it? How do we change if we are an anxious, preoccupied individual? Well, the first step is to actually get good at setting boundaries. Now, if you've followed this channel for quite some time, you will know that we have all sorts of different information on here about boundaries. And some of the most important places we can start when it comes to setting boundaries is first to know what our boundaries are. We have to do an audit of the different areas of life and where we go wrong with our boundaries, where we violate our own boundaries in our career, with our friendships, with our family relationships, our romantic relationships, our financial boundaries that we might have. So we have to really look at these different areas of life and see where am I violating my boundaries and what do I want to be doing instead? And then we actually, once we have the awareness, the real work begins because we can know something consciously and now be aware. But then we can have all these fears of, oh my gosh, what if I set boundaries? What if I get abandoned? What if I seem like a burden? What if I am unloved or rejected? And all of those fears that are stored there subconsciously for anxious preoccupieds are often easily triggered. And this can lead to a position where you know your boundaries, but you don't action them because of these subconscious fears holding you back. So, this really brings us into the subconscious reconditioning part. We have to do the reprogramming. And we've got lots of tools on this channel for reprogramming. And if you want to check out a boundaries course for free for 7 days, all about reprogramming, you can use the link below. Now, once we've got that reprogramming part done, you may then realize, okay, hold on. maybe I'm actually improving. Maybe I'm having healthy boundaries that are going to empower my relationships, that are going to help me feel like I have a stronger sense of self esteem because I show up for myself and I'm more likely and able to thrive. And the more boundaries I have, the more likely it is that I'm attaching securely in relationships. So if you're trying to really take a look at like, where am I at in terms of boundaries? I'm going to take you through four signs that you are likely improving dramatically, and four sort of signposts along the way of healing your boundaries to pay attention to, and that are showing you that you are on the right track to really moving the needle here. So, the first sign is that you are giving in less to that compulsion to people please. In fact, you may even be catching that compulsion in real time. You may witness in real time the need to let somebody know that you need to do something for them, or to go above and beyond when nobody asked you to, or to self-betray to try to make somebody else feel comfortable. You may start noticing this and being like, oh my gosh, I feel that like compulsion, but this time I'm not going to act on it. If somebody needs something from me, they can come to me, they can express. I can even ask somebody, hey, is there anything I can do to support you? And then if they tell me, I will consider myself and see if that's a fit for me as well. So you may notice that that compulsion that was usually very subconscious before, you usually didn't even have time between the time you felt the compulsion to people please and then acted on it. You may notice that there's some space in between that. You may notice that, oh, I'm not doing that so often. And in fact, when somebody asks me for something, I'm actually considering myself and my needs just as much as I'm considering that person and theirs. Number two, you may be giving less meaning to saying no. Sometimes when somebody is really anxious, preoccupied, they will give all this meaning. They'll think, if I say no, then this, then that, and this and that are things like, then I will be left alone forever. Then this person's going to exclude me from everything. Then this person's going to abandon me. They're not going to want to be friends with me or stay with me in a relationship. So all that meaning is very much attached to your nose. And you'll see that that meaning starts to shed away, especially with doing the reprogramming, because reprogramming is designed to recondition those painful stories we're carrying at a subconscious level. Which, by the way, again, like if you want to do a deep dive and you just want to like save yourself a lot of time trying to find all the videos on this channel, go into the boundaries course in PDS. You can check it out for free. It's just very direct, very detailed, gives you all the tools you need, the workbook, you can print it off, all that good stuff. Number three, you may find yourself actually feeling more strong and more empowered as an individual, and you may feel like you have a greater sense of self-esteem. When we set our own boundaries, when we communicate our own boundaries, it actually allows us to feel like we are honoring ourselves. We are looking out for ourselves. We have our own back. We're protecting ourselves. And in doing that, that actually boosts our self-esteem quite dramatically. So you might actually feel yourself feeling more confident, more empowered, and in a really good, healthy way, not in like an arrogant, excessive way. And number four, you may even find that you are comfortable negotiating. And negotiating really means that when somebody asks you for something, you might say, I can do this, but not all of it. So somebody might say to you, hey, can you do me a favor? I've got a lot of work to do at work, and let's pretend this is your coworker. Can you do it for me on the weekend? I'm tired. And you might say, look, I'd love to help you out, but I care about that I have a weekend as well. I can help you with this part here for half an hour. But other than that, that's all I can really do. So you may actually be open to not just saying absolute yeses or nos, but find that ability to negotiate in that gray area in between and say what you can and cannot do, but make those healthy compromises in real time. And if you are there, that is a sign that you are well on your way to being a very empowered boundary setter, and that you're well on your way to being able to have these really securely attached relationships as a result, because it has such a crucial impact on our relationships overall. So anyways, I hope this makes a lot of sense to you. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying this channel. And again, you can use that link below for free for 7 days. And I will see you in the next video.